That's catchy.
Two baddies, one Porsche. Two baddies, one Porsche. 몰라 난 너가 뭐라는지 있는 그대로의 모습을 떠올리는. Two baddies, one Porsche.
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at NCT 127's track Two Baddies. This is, you guessed it, a Patreon request. Shout out to the one, the only Kit for the request. Anytime you see NCT 127, we thank them. So I can't wait to take a look at this. We got a dance practice, a performance version, a music video, and a behind the scenes. It's going to be full of the 127 today. Cannot wait. Let's get started. Ah, that was cool. That was cool. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Hey, now that groove right there and how you sit in it, petty. We love it. Ooh. Yeah. That's catchy. Yeah. 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 Two baddies, one Porsche. Woo. I'm here for this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting where we made this type of choice. I didn't hear where that was going on, but we'll probably hear it in the performance version. Hey. No, me, all the time, all the freaking time. Performance version right here. Let's go! A little cipher circle. Feels like an ad for for like Nike or somebody. I love that we got the mic on. Blues Clues? I mean, I'm not hating on Blues Clues. That is a jam of a show. Well done. Yeah. This choreo is catchy. Hey, two baddies. How we built that.
Now you wanna ride these wheels, so to get a pound, know the one I get you feel.
Get your feel. Kill. Papa ear. Now that groove would throw me off because I'd want to butterfly it by inverting because it's so subtle. Subtle moves like that can get me real quick. Ooh. I like the ISO setup on that. That was cool. Yeah. Hey, there is one thing I do need to check. Whoa! No, go back. Here we go. It's that. Not this part. It's this part. Were we going on the vibrato? Or were we just doing it for funsies? That's so interesting. Okay. Here we are, music video time, ready. I did not hate the performance version. Normally, I really am not a fan of them, but I liked that one. That one made the choreo look really dope, had some really cool shots. Good thing he brushed his teeth, or they'd be looking a little yellow. Yeah. One Porsche.
우린 계속 down, no, no, what I get you feel. Yeah, we got no time to kill. 배기음이 말을 많이 바빠 ill. 좀 위로 가, 좀 위로 가. 너 잃지 마, 끝까지 달려가.
It's this group. Ooh, we have rain. Wow. Run through the highway. That's dangerous. And I love the framework of the car. I'm gonna guess that Bada Lee was a part of the choreography for this because some of these grooves remind me of her. Like that one right there. Eee, okay. Oh, I'm glad that's safely secured because I would be concerned that it would be falling on me, you know what I mean? But okay, here we go. From the top of our dance practice, we're going to look through it. And I have a feeling we're going to see who choreographed it in the behind the scenes, so I will have my curiosity satisfied then. Initial thoughts. I don't mind this one at all. I like the track and I like the choreography. So that's a double thumbs up for me. Normally it's either I like the track and the choreo is bless it, or I love the choreo and the track makes my brain hurt. So this is cool. This feels like it kind of feels like a regular dance analysis. There's nothing super wonky about it like I'm used to seeing. So Kit, you picked an interesting one here. Normally I have a strange challenge that comes with it, but it's fun. Rubbing it up. Here we go. We're walking. We're like, let's go. Party, party, party of us. We love it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, now this right here, boom, notice that he has a nice little extra little reverb to set everybody to have a nice fun speed change, all showcasing different directions, some using the shoulders, some using, they are for the most part, all of them are using their shoulders to kind of guide, but they're going different directions, which makes it feel a little different. Then you have our center, he goes two baddies, one Porsche. We have a nice reset, we're flexing that core to get that nice little effect going on that reverb. We love that, and it goes boom with the head nod. Some people have their hands up, so they're accenting off of our center, which is really cool. Yeah. Then we go reset. Boom. Notice that bass. That bass isn't just solid. It has an extra to it. So having your movement have that extra movement, your movement having extra texture on the tail end of it and an effect to it allows us to feel like we're really sinking into the music and we're listening and following through on it. We're not just doing movement for the sake of it. So that looks really nice. Already seeing that there. I like the subtle boxer bounce that we got going on in the lower half, and I like the subtlety of our palms to set it up, which is super dope. The feature's still in the front. I'm assuming that's our leader, Taeyong, right? And we go and reset, boom, right here. This groove, man, I haven't seen that groove in a hot minute. That's kind of nice to see where we go and we reset. I love that choice, boom, boom. A lot of times people do the drop, but then they take it. You have it's not really a nene, because the setup in the torso is different, but it does give a similar kind of vibe of what you would see people who dribble an imaginary basketball in between, but they have it a little bit more full. So of course we're using the obliques to keep that nice and strong and chill, and that leaning of the torso. We go on, take the arms, we fold it down, and then we explode out. So we had our arms connected to create some form of separation. The only person that's kind of an outlier is your feature. I think that's Mark. I like his choices. He has like a little petty posture, and what I mean by that is he's arching that lower back and he's sitting back in his hips as he's making some of his choices. I see it a couple of times in the choreo, and it looks great on him. I think he has great versatility, and so it clocked me in a fun way for this type of track. It's called Two Baddies. So it kind of gives off that like, ooh, petty vibe, you wish you were me, right? So you have a nice speed change, slow subtlety going on there, and then you have an accent to reset to the middle. And I love that right there with this tap. So they're stepping forward and they're using the secondary foot. Ooh, hold on. I think that's the first foot that's establishing direction. Hold on. Okay, so if you're traveling from stage right to stage left, so that'd be from this side over, you would be taking your second foot, so that's your back foot to travel. If you're on this side, it would be your front foot to travel, which I find really, I think that's cool. It's cool. You get that a lot in transitions and content, is that sometimes you want to keep everybody doing the same look, do-do-do-do, and they take their arms, they do a nice, like, showing off their muscles, their strength, bringing it down, and then from there, they go down, they pop up, using the shoulder to help accent as well. Just so we can have, at least we're all on the same foot, but each person's traveling on a different foot. Some, like I said, are traveling more on the right foot than the left. It just depends on what their ending position is. But if you want to maintain the same look, that's why you have to kind of compensate in that way, which I find interesting that we're talking about. It's cool. He doubles it up, which is nice. Then from there, we bring it around, very nice. Some people would call that a cabbage patch. Some people call it a Reebok. Just depends on your setup. So just in your arms around, cool to see. We have a little bit of like an old school hip hop party move influence in this, with some new school moves to boot, just like this one here. It's really fun. We like it. So they bring it over. I like the swing, 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 which is nice. I think he had to catch his weight right there because he swung too far back. Mark did. Yeah, that's fun. But he reset, but boom, on the base, which is nice. I love this peekaboo feature. That was dope. Him coming from the back, and then they're going to end up like on the same line over here. That's probably one of my favorite little feature moments that we've seen, even though he's not technically featured. He was featured to me. That was cool. Everybody nice and slow in your speed changes. I love that. And then you have another guy that's not really moving, but he's also accenting with what's going on with our first two, which is really cool. Then from there, they do a push away. So everybody's kind of doing the same move, but the difference is some are traveling. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da. Some push back, some just go to reset forward. So there's a lot of their transitions. They're doing the same move, but where their weight is going, starting and finishing, is what allows for these formation shifts to take place. And that is really well done, and it shows the thoroughness of the transitions, because transitions get neglected so quickly. But I always love whenever we get to appreciate it in the dance practices, because you can't see this kind of stuff in the performance versions. And that's why I always prefer these, because you get to see the full picture and you get to admire more than just the focal point, two baddies, one poor stuff. You get to admire, that feature moment looks freaking dope because how they transitioned it and how you had him coming from the back to the front and then having everybody else accented and do a reset while trying to maintain unison, but creating a nice formation so everyone's more spread out. We get to celebrate that, you know? That kind of stuff deserves a lot of celebration and a lot of, hey, look at how cool that is, and not just the stuff that matches or that's in the challenges. Do you know what I mean? Like, that stuff's cool. That's cool. From here, new feature, he goes in, look, he rotates around, and notice we do a reset, going from stage right, stage left, and it matches a really dope way to get them all in check, to neutralize, and look how clean the spacing is here. But it's because they had to reset on this position, some of our guys spacing out a little bit more to stage right in order for this transition to work. Gosh, that's so cool. So cool. Right there, that do-do-do-do right there on the beat, on that percussion, do-do-do-do on the back. That was cool. And then they take it, follow through on the hands. It kind of feels like it was a call and response moment. Let's look. Yeah, he just throw his arms and then he looks back. I love that. He hits it, ding, and then they all melt up. And then from there, boom, they reset, boom. I love this right here. It's really nice and extra. There's a lot of like reverb, boom, a residual effect there. And then we travel it, boom, with extra tension. We're using and locking that core up to have it, boom, accented and rebounded like we're hitting a timpani or hitting a big drum. We love it. But it does feel like we're breaking away too from a big group to a small group. It's everybody. Then we have, yeah, so we have everybody, and then everybody stops except for like a small group that's right behind your feature. Then right there, you have one of your arms out to the side. It's like you're driving, right? Two baddies, one Porsche. So you're going to have a lot of this type of imagery with rotations and, or like a circular kind of perspective on some of your choices. Just like what you see here with the drop. Fun feature in the back. I love that. Really dope way to get everybody to drop low, but still having a fun feature moment in the process. The traveling over was nice, great squat work, and then from here, they're still low. Way to go from the hop over and then immediately having to do the walk, this walk crawl thing, a little accent with the hips. I know fans love that. Cool. And I like that we're adding the arms to kind of create some subtle stability in the choice. Also, it allows us to have something else going on and not just feel like we're in trouble at school with the walks, right? It's cool. And then notice we have a little bit more space happening in the front. Why is that? In order for us to see more of a moment in this small group here. My gut tells me they're about to pop up, but these guys are not going to disappear, I think would be what my guess is. Just because I've seen this twice doesn't mean that I have this memorized. I just kind of understand the gist of the structure. I like that. From here going into an add-on, we like that. And then from here, it does have a mirrored perspective, which is nice. And then we melts are nice, so it feels like we're adding on through texture. So texture meaning that we're adding breath, using the elbows to create some breathability, some fluidity in this. It's really nice, but it's not waving. So I want you to know there's a difference. Waving is the illusion of water. There's wind style, and there's these types of throws, but you don't want to just throw it into nothingness. There has to be a reason and context behind it. So in this case, it just adds we're just doing some breath textured arm throws is really what I would call it. I wouldn't give it waving, but from here, I like this part. Na 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 na. Where we drop, then we just do a nice little subtle. It's not even a chug. I mean, it kind of is. Where we're bringing our feet in. It's really nice on the reset, and I like how we have that's a fun feature. Everybody else is just nice and slow and controlled, not distracting. They're pacing themselves, walking. I mean, I wish they would walk on tempo. I think most of them did, but that would be just a small observation here. I am definitely a fan of tempo walking, meaning that we're either going to walk on tempo or we double time our walks because it feels more intentional and it feels like we actually have a reason for doing it, not just, okay, my part's done, you're not supposed to look at me, so I'm not going to be distracting. You know what I mean? I feel like there's like a subtle intention behind it. It makes me see that you're carrying 150% of the way, not just like 95. I love the fact I have this pause because look, we have a little face moment and a little face moment. So it feels like we're having some fun in the dance practice space. I like that. I like seeing a little bit of human in this because they are, at the end of the day, they're human and we get to admire what they're doing in movement quality. I love seeing dance to music. I do. I love choreography. I love being able to talk about what makes it cool. Normally, for the most part, I have observations and a suggestion here and there, but at the end of the day, I really like what I watch 95% of the time. So this right here is really fun, and I love talking about stuff, especially if I really like it. It's cool. This is cool. All right there, I like the switch up, da-da-da-da, and then we have a new reveal coming from the center, good spacing on that. Then you have your two on the outside, scuffing right there I like the little peekaboo where he comes through, and then you have those two on the furthest outside of this V, doing a nice little scuff to the inside so it frames well. You have some tension, you have some speed change going on. A lot of that's our common theme in this. Really fun. And then right there we have it looks like it was an add-on, wasn't it? Going from 1, 2, 3, 4. See, this is where my suggestion would come in. Normally on an add-on, you would have one, and then you would normally see this group go, and then this group, but I don't quite know why. I don't know why these four ended up going at the same time because there is an extra count that you could have separated it by one more. Where you could have and then they started that. So they actually had an extra count to hit that. So watch. We walk. Listen. 1, 2, 3. So they ended up just having everybody do the same thing twice versus having another group add on. I mean, once again, observation, something that normally I see separated, but it was together. It just makes me curious as to why, because I don't mind deviations. I want to learn the reasoning behind it so I can pick up on it more accurately in the future. But this right here, I like these choices from our center group. Now I have to go back and talk about what's going on in the center. I like that, da-na-na, and then he goes through. So he has to make sure his spacing's in check and he travels far enough front. So whenever he has two people join him, the spacing is pretty much the same as what you see in spacing in our V. Yeah, they're bringing it through and up. I really like this choice with the legs going out in, and then we're going and taking our hips and pushing them more forward. That's really nice. And he does a little throw. We're here for it. Yeah, little moment from our feature. Now from here we have people walking around the back, but those that are next to him or in front of him are more structured, so it's easier to see our feature. If everybody was moving around and he was also moving around, it'd be really hard to find him, but because the movement's happening behind him and there's more like stillness on the sides, it's easier to see him in the middle, which is nice. I like that, where they go to the front, they can create more of like that clock vibe, which is cool. And then right there, that boom, 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 boom on the bases are nice. New little mini group coming up front. We're here for it. He goes, he throws it, and then right here, boom. Yeah, 2 baddies, 1 pores. I mean, I already have it memorized at this point. This is so cool. Brokenness of the wrist, 2 baddies. It's like, peace, what's up? You know, it gives a very conversational element to the positioning of the hands. And we're taking our legs, we're going in, out. It does look like we're placing our weight on the ball of the foot on one foot, the heel on the other, so it creates that out-in effect. A lot of times you see people do the balls of the feet for both, heels on both, or they alternate. So that would be a little clarification thing there. If you were learning the choreo, that would be something to clock, because where your weight goes determines what happens to your torso a lot of times. So that's why he's sitting the way that he is because he can, because his weight is distributed like so. So way to go. We like it. Cool. And then from there, 1 pulse, and I like the accent, the crash, and we rotate it around. Really nice. Then from there, boom, 2 baddies. So it's kind of like we're shifting gears almost is what it gives. And then we bring it through. We take it, rotate it around. And then 1 pulse, and then go. I like how we're doing like a little trigger, cocking a gun trace on that. Really dope. Then we go and take it, do a little flapping of the shirt. I know some people would appreciate them flapping a little bit larger. You know, that's the fan service side of things, right? I like the switch up right here. It does look like we're going toe taps, where we're really just shifting our weight enough so we have like a sharper kind of weightiness to our shifts, which I really like. It's cool having our arms. We have a nice punch. I appreciate the intention that we're going fist regardless of fingers, hands. I like that we're being intentional with that. Take it around. I like the pas de bourrée on it. We take it through. Da 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 da. I really like that choice. Then we sit in it. Then we go da 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 da. Ooh, do 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 do. So we take 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 4th we tap it a little bit more forward. Really nice. Then he goes 2 baddies, 2 baddies. Oh, that's a dope add-on. So add-on is where you have a group start or a person start, and then the next move they do, another group matches what their current move is, and then so on and so forth. And that's exactly what you saw there. Super cool. So everybody did the same torso and leg transition, but we had an add-on starting from stage left, and then we added our line. So we went from 3 to 2 to 4. And then push, we wave it out to the side. And then we switch up the feet, but notice it's similar to what we saw a little bit more forward in the beginning of this course, but we're using it to travel back to more of a center. And I like this exchange between our front too. It's really nice. Yeah, that was my little petty posture number 2 from Mark right here. Watch. Yeah, he's very, very sticky, very, yeah, we love it. Then we go, they pick it up, do-do-do-do. Really cool on the pickup. They do little heel touches, do-do-do-do. And it takes up 4 of those percussion. Then it goes through. I really like that, where they take it, they swoop the torso as they flop those hands. And I like this choice with the finger. And then they bring it back in. For me, I was kind of noticing whether or not they were going to talk about biting, and this is what you see here. You see that more in breaking than you do in other things, but it's something that I didn't know if that was related in wordplay. I don't think so, but it's cool to see that set up there. And then we set it through, we drop it lower, we bring it up, and I like this rotation on the reset, having your hand up, and then we pick it up. Nice little crunch happening between the leg and the upper body. We love it. And then we go. Very nice transition into our center. So it's nice and circular. We're doing more of that pulsing kind of bounce. If you had jazz hands, it would feel like we're in West Side Story. So it's cool. We have our arms down, hunched over a little bit, pushing and projecting more towards our features pushing towards us. I like the hypeness that they have. I love this choice with the 4. They went wee around, and then you have another small group. So we're having a lot of these little reveals, but they're really fun and interesting every time you see them. It doesn't feel manufactured. It doesn't feel like, oh, I've seen this transition before in this choreography, because it's one thing when you see it, you know, if I look at 15 different choreographies in a day, there's going to be some formation overlaps, especially if they're similar numbers. That's life, and that's okay. But if you see the same setup and execution multiple times, then it starts to become a little bit more predictable, and it doesn't feel as captivating or engaging for your audience long term that way. But here, every time that they've showcased a feature, they've set it up or they've transitioned in and out of it in a way that's very fascinating, even though it's something that we're familiar with if you're very familiar with K-pop choreo structures, especially with numbers like this. But it's definitely just, it doesn't feel so familiar that I'm like, oh, they're doing this now. You know what I mean? So this is really fun. Love it. I like to switch it up. Of course, we have a little rock going on in the upper body. We like that. We extended out. I do think it could be a smidgen cleaner right there, but it is what it is. Not really, it's not really a big deal. So right here, I like he picks it up. Da-da-da. And then from there, we got 3 guys, boom, they're kind of popping. No, not popping like popping style, but the dynamic is like quick, like a mini explosion on the hops is what they're doing more so. And I like that. They have to maintain their spacing on that. Somebody else do a nice little trot forward. Really nice. And there's a little moment. We love it. The run over. So it's fun that we had some people engaging with the feature and he wasn't just isolated by himself. I like that choice. But they weren't really a priority. You know, they were more of like an environment framing. They weren't really there as like a focal point, which is cool. But from here, like the pulls are super fun. Nice. When we go and we rotate it around, that into the whoa was cool, involving more people. It's nice. We like seeing it. Now, I do have a question. Who is this? Because I think that's Taeyong, right? Is he our leader? Then who's this? Because they look similar to me, and it could just be because they're both in blonde. And maybe I'll have this question answered in the behind the scenes because they like to put their names. And I can read Hangul, so I'll be able to like sound it out and whatever, but maybe I'll be able to figure this question out. But I know you guys have told me. I'm so sorry for really having not the best memory with names, but I do remember movement. So, but yeah, that's Taeyong. I do feel confident with that, and I do know Mark. But yeah, this guy right here. I feel like you guys have told me. We know this. That'll be my goal, is to know who this is today. Anyway, nice little rock on that. Or the rock, and this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about rock. So it's a lot of it rotates in the torso. Rock, rock, rock. Bounce is the bending of the knees, essentially. So from there, I like going from the whoa. So actually going back, I don't think I finished this thought. So I like this rotation. So I like that pop, pop on the outsides, boom, with a little punch. Notice that this matches kind of what we've already done in our choices in the course. So that's cool, and that's why it works, and it's framing outward, and then he rotates around into a whoa. And there's a sound for it, really nice, that rock, rock. They pick it up, they hold it, and then they move. So I like the holds to ride a different part of our music. It's fun. I love me some patience. It's cool. And that right there, you can call it a march step or an MC rock. And so both of those, MC rock would be like, you know, MCs who are rapping, right? A lot of times they would do that, and that's, you know, one of many kind of terms you could use, but that would be the 2 that I give for that. It's cool. So he moves forward. I like the subtlety. He drops a little bit of a lower level so we can actually see more members, so that's cool. We have another member breakaway. I like the little rock coming out of that. That's fun. And I like this little step. That's super fun. Yep, I like just like the subtlety with the opposition of the rock to the back as we step forward. It just feels different than whenever you're pulsing more towards the front as you walk. So that's really nice. I like the subtlety. Subtleties go a long way. So this right here, I like the bump down, pick it up. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I like that choice. And then we do a nice little explosion with those arms. And he steps out heel, toe, toe. And then he picks up the leg. I love that. Great way to stay featured. And then even though you have other people doing more full movement, you still have to do something that's an outlier. It stands out but complementary. And that's exactly what we see there. Yeah, oh, and then we still have speed changes. Boom, to the outside corners. Really nice. And then the slide through, boom, boom. So we have 4 groups going on is what it looks like, right? If we were to clock it, if you're outside 4. Oh, no, it's an add-on. Oh, okay. So this is fascinating. So you have these 2 start, these 2 join, and then these 2 join for about 2 counts, and then they do their own thing. These 4 stay doing their thing, and they're in their own world, features featuring. Wow. So this is like not complexity like wakey's formations in the beginning. I really don't. I still feel like there's some things off with those formations and transitions, but it feels like this is the degree of complexity of this section is what we just noticed here that I think wakey was going for as well. So watch. We have just 2, so we have speed changes going on in the outside 4. And then then you have these 2 join in on the back 2. These 2 are still speed changing in their own way. These 2 are still speed changing. Then right there, they join, but then the 2 right next to the feature are about to go and do their own thing. We still have speed changes, look. Yeah, and then they join back in, so that's cool. And then right here, we now have everybody's in check, new feature. That was a cool section. Logistical nightmare, potentially, but that's really cool. Because I'm going to tell you, finding these things is one thing. Teaching people to do that is different. So like if I were in the room and I was like, and I wanted to do that, knowing how to articulate it is a very interesting thing. Understanding the room that you're in and how everybody learns, because everybody learns differently. Some are visual, some are auditory, some are kinesthetic, and some are a mix. For me, I'm a mix of all of them. It's healthy to learn in many different ways, and it also helps you empathize with those that learn in different ways. So how you would kind of word this would be different depending on who you're talking to. So in this context here, what I would say is, okay, let's all, oh my God, how would we start that? I would say, okay, honestly, I think it'd be better because these two don't do anything. I would teach them their slow-mo, boom, whatever. They may have been last in how they were taught. I would teach these 6, all of it the same, and then for there, I would break apart. I would say, okay, now, you guys are going to do all of it. Don't worry about it. You guys are going to do this choreo, dive in, and then revert. And then I'll say, okay, you guys. So I would teach all of it in unison for whoever's involved in it, and then I would itemize it. But that's just me. I'm curious if we're going to see that. And probably not for this section, but I would love to see more how they talk about itemizing dynamics, because that stuff is a lot trickier to articulate in a room than you think, because it's so cool to see, but you don't think for a second. You're like, how did they learn to do that? Because it's not just say, okay, follow along and do this. That's not going to be as efficient. They have to kind of understand why, because it affects their space. It affects their formation, it affects where they are when they're featured, XYZ. So that's a very fascinating part. I would love to see that, whether or not they have it. Anyway, but from there, I digress. Really cool section. I love that with the pulses. Now what just happened? See, I was just so busy talking about that, I completely ignored what's happening next. Yep, so he matched his own words. That's fine. Boom, 2. Yeah, the pulse. Boom, and the pulls, and you have the 2 go to the inside. No, 4 of them go to the inside, and then you have 4 of them corner it. That's cool. So we're providing a lot of depth to this. So they're going side to side. Your feature's straight front. These guys are angled to the corner. So I really like a lot of these choices. Really cool. So cool. And of course, we're having these little pelvic pushes and scoops to add more fullness to their choices. That's really nice. The walks there, and then a boom, 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 boom. Notice that we have 4 people doing that. One of them is covered up by the transition. And then you have your feature featuring. And this right here, they swing over. He goes, oh, nice. Then right here, boom. 2 baddies, 2 baddies. 1, Porsche. Oh, that's fun. Porsche. Yep. I do think that my guy right here is using more of his extremities, not really using his back. So that would be my note right there for him. And that's why his movement looks different than his movement. Then from here, 1 Porsche, yep, boom, da-da-da-doom, nice. And then, yeah, switch and switch. So it's all the same choreo, different person in front, even though it's the same kind of tone. We hear multiple people on the track. Da-na-na-na-na-na, yeah. And this move right here, I said it every time. This right here, I'd want to butterfly it. Boom, 2, which is an inversion of the knees and is like all super smooth using the body. But they have it more as just like a knee lift and the lift in the heels. It's so subtle. I would want to do more, but that's just my personal preference. And then you have your feature there. I don't mind it. Like, I like it. It's just, it reminds me of, what is it? Whenever I was watching Stray Kids do Chick Chick Boom, the short versions, for the challenge, part of me was concerned that I would go too big because some of their choices are so conversational or so muted that I'm like, this music is so full for the mutedness of what they're doing in the shorts. But after I watched the dance practice, I was able to refine a lot of that, luckily, and I felt a lot better going into learning the choreography. Here in this case, that would be something that I would have to like really be mindful of to not go too full out on, because it would be too big and too full in movement for what the intention of it in the unison is. So on Porsche, I like his fullness, and he's adding an extra slinkiness about his torso. It's really nice. I like that ba-da-da, da-da-da, and he doubles it, so that's really cool. I think we do 3 of them. Yeah, and then we end up doubling it up. Boom, boom. I like the fullness. Notice some of them are taking like a Millie Rock position, right? With a throw. But of course, it's not like a defined posture, but that's just a typical posture you would see. But here, it definitely feels more like we've already thrown the Millie right there. So we have 2 different postures showcased, which is why it feels different, right? It's individuality, but we have some degree of schema or blueprint on what the choreo is. So that's why it's totally, I mean, it's fine. I know that NCT 127 is known more for their individuality than synchronicity. We've had many conversations about that. In this one, because of concept, not being super clean works in their favor because of the niche of the moves that they're doing. They're not really meant to be done super, super clean because of the culture that they derive from. So it's cool. And I like the subtlety there, boom. And right here, I like that. We drop down to the bridge. Notice the reset is so subtle. Boom, we're recognizing the bass, but not doing too much. So we're itemizing it in the chest. Very nice. I like he's right here, having his subtlety, like he's driving his Porsche, like he owns it. And I like the subtlety of the, I mean, it's more full than just a throw. So it's nice that we have it starting from the shoulder to have it in state in the snaps. And I like the boom boom, the pulsing of the knees. Really nice. They have to really be quick on the lifting of the heel and having the flexing take place in the knee or surrounding the knee. You can't really flex your kneecap. That's a bone, you know, or like or the cartilage surrounding it. You have to use your muscles and your tendons surrounding it in order for that flex to take place. So anyway, that right there, I like the good old ISO where it goes. That reminds me of Spell by Kirsten. Click, 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 click with 17. That right there, I saw it there. It's cool to see it here, but it's more subtle. It feels like we're scooping ice cream, soft serve, and then we're putting it in a chunky bowl. And I like his subtlety here. He doubles it up on the hips, so they double. Hit it over, da da da. I like this. Boom. This right here feels, I've seen people do dun 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 a Reebok. Like that's what that feels like. But they didn't really finish it. You just see that rock, that do the rock away. Lean back. Lean back. Anyway, I'm distracted, my bad. But I like just the rock, it's subtle. And then they go and they reset. It's more subtle on that one. The pulls are nice. Yep, da 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 da. So I like how we do the body roll, redirect the head to the inside, or they're actually towards our feature. So I like that they pull and he points. That's really fun. Subtle, because notice that when they reset those arms down, look where his hand's going. So their range matches, even though the starting points are different. Mwah! We love it. Yeah. Oh, X day, and then it's time for a cipher circle. Nice, so it goes jump, jump, and then we do a nice little heel twist on the side, and then we go, we set it down, we do a nice little double up pony, and then we jump, jump. So it's the same thing twice is what you end up seeing. So it goes hop, hop, heel twist, boom. But it's not like a tone wop out in or anything like that. It's just you place your weight on the heels to twist your feet or twist your feet. Bring it over. I like that. Dropping it down. 2 little ponies to reset. Great transition. I like the vroom vroom, so because we've already kind of seen that prep and then going into the vroom vroom part, it feels very fitting because we already have this bounce and play. So that's cool. We're taking it. I like the pulls, and then right here we shoot the arms out and a nice little swivel going on with the leg. I've seen this so many times. My students have shown me this so much because I got it from TikTok. I just find it funny. It's cool seeing it though. I like it. We're here. We take it out. They would be very pleased to know that it exists in choreography like this because they'll be like, look, Miss Jess. And I'll be like, that's cool, let's use it. So anyway, moving on from here, we go, and we have this nice little moment. Sing it over in the corner. And then we have the 2 baddies, so they're taking it. Of course, we have the opposition. We're about to rotate it. No, we're not. That's the vibration part. I don't know why we made this choice because there's not really a sound that goes off of it except for this vibrato, but his vibrato is delayed to after this happens. I think it was just a texture choice that's just different. I don't mind it. I always find it interesting when we're making a very active technique choice or texture choice that doesn't have a defined sound that justifies it. It's always fascinating. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. No. That is the beauty of the artistic perspective of a choreographer, but it just makes me interested in learning more. Yeah, 2 baddies, 1 Porsche. They said it. Do-do-do. Really nice. They accent it there, and it goes 2 baddies, so they cross it over. Yep. And it goes 2 baddies. So it goes from the side, we travel it up, and it goes 1 Porsche. And then a triplet. Doo-doo-doo. In this part, you don't want your arms to flap too much. You want them more reserved in the shoulders, or what creates more of that baseline to match the legs more so than your hands do. Then we bring it over. This is interesting how stiff that part is. I wonder if it's a wordplay. It just feels like we're what is it when you like shift gears in a car, it feels like that kind of jerk effect, which is cool. And then they throw it away on that 3rd one, and then they go hit and little rock star sign, and then we bring it through over just a 2-step on the side, which is nice. And then right here it's an add-on, 2 baddies, so it's 2 baddies, so it goes just from one person to everybody. One of my guys started a little too early, but they finish at the same time. He has his leg. He's the only one. Drops it down. Everybody swings it out. Notice that they have to swing, place a little bit of weight, but not a ton, because they have to very quickly pick up to reinstate it, which is what you see here. Yeah? So you notice that we put just a smidgen of the weight on the heel, but nowhere else. Yeah, so I like how he does it over here on stage left. Now a little vroom vroom, just like, you know, what you see on a motorcycle, vroom vroom. But I know on a Porsche's a car, so I always find it interesting we're using, like, revving up an engine like this for a car, whenever most of the time this is like from a dirt bike, motorcycle, something like that. So but it works though. Do you know what I mean? It's like adrenaline based sports activity in vehicles. I like the brushes on that part. That was really fun, having the arms out nice and straight. We're here for it. Switch it up, the cross, nice, everyone having their own moment, which is fun. I love this part. That was cute. Rainbow shade. That makes sense why I did that, because of rainbow. Cool. I like that. This part, just when we're taking it, it definitely feels like, what is it? I've seen Bada do this a lot, which is why I think like, oh, Bada could have been a part. Maybe, who knows? Or maybe somebody affiliate with her, which is all fine and dandy. But I like how we're shifting the weight. The dominant side's on the left side for this, and we're still shifting the weight over by bouncing in the weight shift. We're not sliding it through, or we're not like scooping it through. It's bounce, 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 bounce. So it's a double bounce, but you delegate it across both of your legs. Right? Super cool. Nice. And I like his range on that too. So it goes saddle, 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 saddle. Is that a whale tattoo on his ribs? That must have hurt. Especially that line work right there. Boom, boom, boom. If that's real, hats off to you, sir. I mean, I got my spine done and I cried, so, I mean, I get it. I get the pain. Over to the other side. Yep, so I think it's the same side, but notice the direction change reestablishes or repackages the groove, so it feels different, and it's actually a smarter, not harder, for choreographer and for the members, because their body is able to, you know, to ride through it, do their own thing on it, and it technically takes up about 4-8 counts, you know, doing just one move, but how they transition it, the positioning of it, it doesn't feel like we're just recycling the same thing, which is nice. Two baddies, yeah, two baddies, one Porsche, yeah. So who's riding shotgun's my question, but now they're still doing the same side all 3 times, but the different direction makes it feel like we're going the opposite way. And that party, 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 and boom, same thing. So we're doing it 4 times, and it doesn't look boring, so that was really dope on that. I like that. Boom, two baddies, bless the squat position happening right here, but I like what's happening where we're slowly establishing into a level, and it goes one Porsche right at the end. We're done. They say, okay, you did it. Cut. And they're like, ah, good. And then those that are squat, let's just go on the floor while we're there. That's why they stay. Because low-key, me. That was me. For Chick Chick Boom, I needed, like, I was done. I got my final take in, and I just needed to lay on the floor for a second. So I really relate to that. They're already there, so why get up? You know what I mean? But that was super, super fun. We got the uncut right here. Subtitles on. Let's see and figure out who's involved in this project. It's fun. It's fun. Is he going on a field trip? Where's he going? Johnny is tall with short hair. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. This one does look like a fun one to learn. Show me, baby, what's your style? Yeah. It's like football. That is not the weirdest thing they've ever had to do. Yeah. Yeah. Like we're in trouble. Yeah. Ugh. No, for real. I think, who is it? Taeyong? I think Taeyong's hat reminds me of Waffle House with how it's yellow and blocky.
오랜만이라 되게 좋다. 와 진짜 하나도 안 틀렸는데?
네 여러분 안녕하세요.
Hello.
저희는 지금 정규 4집 대박난 앨범
Yay! Two baddies!
질주 연습 현장입니다.
연습 이틀 차.
저희가 모범생이라서 완전 1등으로 왔어요.
Good for you.
네 연습 1일차인데 어때요?
어때요?
2일차네요.
It's the second day. Taeyu.
우리의 뭐죠? 여기 감독님.
Music video director.
진호형 하이웨이 투 헤븐에 이어 두 번째 만남. 오랜만에 이제 진호형 감독님 보는데 어떻게 얘기가 될지 아주 기대가 됩니다.
아,
다른 형들은 지금 빗속에서 보고 있고요. 공중이 끝나고 와가지고 예습을 하고 있었습니다. 이틀차 연습
that AC is kicking.
멤버들과 함께 재미나게 연습을 해볼 예정이고요. 보시는 여러분들도 저희와 같이 이 춤을
It does look
따라
fun.
추셨으면 좋겠네요.
It does look
여기
fun.
뭐가 묻었나? 여기 뭐가 묻었나? 여기 뭐가 묻었는데? 저희 저기 사진 앨범이 이제 요번에 알차게 또 구성이 돼 있어가지고 기다려주신 만큼 보답이 되지 않을까 싶습니다. 메타포를 해드리자면 저희와 함께 서킷에서 경주하는 느낌? 잘생겼어요. 재밌는 거 너무 해드려서 좋고요. 여러분들도 막 음악도 너무 마음에 들어 하시고 안무도 너무 마음에 들어 하시고
Look at that.
좋고 재밌는 거 하면 이제 더 많은 여러분들 잘할 수 있으니까 아주 멋있게 잘 찍고
Yay.
이 세트 봄 짓는 거 말고 뭔가 임팩트 딱 봤을 때 후에서 오 이거 뭐지 하는 걸 하고 너무 하고 싶어가지고 이렇게 차 그 포르쉐 쉐입을 만들고 좌우가 10m, 8m에서 10m 이렇게
It's that little car, wasn't it? Yeah.
들어갔다 나갈까 했을 때도 막 엄청난 위압감이라 그래야지 꼭 나를 보고 걸려 있으면 이게 차가 스윙이 돼. 어떻게 보면은 그래서 여러분들 뭐 퍼포먼스 워낙에 잘하시니까 잘 찍으면
Yay.
나는 형이 되게 신나는 것 같아서 기분이 너무 신났어요. 되게 잘 나올 것 같아요. 이런들 처음이 아니고 너무 재밌게 찍을 수 있을 것 같아요.
Oof. We got a little bit of hot ISO coming in hot over here too. Hey Chan, Mr. Pink Hair. Hey Chan. What if it's Whedon boys that choreograph this? Wow, wow. Oh my god, is he wearing freaking like the Yeezy slip-ons? Those are dreadful shoes to dance in, whatever Taeyong's wearing. Oh my god. My podiatrist would have a freaking cow if I showed up to rehearsal in those. Goodness. Oh Lord. Na 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 po. Teletubbies. The guy that I'm trying to figure out what his name is, he's barefoot right now. I saw a name called Utah, but I don't know who it was. Maybe that's him. I haven't heard him talk really at all in this behind the scenes. None of my questions are being answered. This is fun. Got you in 4K.
In front of you all, 4K.
Lol. Are we sponsored by Puma today? Oh my god. Oh, that's good. That's funny. That's funny. Someone got his hair done. Pie. Yeah. It's always fun when you're like getting the choreo. It just feels better. Yeah. Cause no, like I don't really spend a ton of time on choreo like they do. I don't have to in my line of work because normally I choreograph. I normally clean it. But dancers have to like really refine it. What's his name? This guy right here. I'm guessing. I may have to do. I have like 2 Google searches I'm gonna have to do today after this. Cause like who's this guy right here in that right there? What a ham and a half, these guys. They're more unhinged than EXO is. That's just what you get sometimes. Na 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 na. Tomato. What I'm realizing with the behind the scenes too is that they're in rehearsal, but they still have to kind of his name's Utah, but they still have to like low-key just not wear like whatever they want. Do you know what I mean? They can wear like comfortable stuff, but it looks like the demo. No, I don't think it's the demo. That's them. I think they're watching a playback. Because they've learned it enough, they don't think they need to refer to the demo anymore. Yeah, that's them. This does look cool. Okay. So the guy I was looking for, his name is Utah. And then I learned another name, Johnny. He's Mr. Tolly, who struggled with like 2 grooves, is what he said. It's the guy in the gray, right? In this one? I'm just going off of who the tallest person is in the bluish gray hair. With the Puma promotions out the wazoo on some of these fits. Na 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 na. Cool. Okay, so I gotta go Google who choreographed this. Please hold. Rihanna and pre-pics. Okay, we're there. Curiosity quenched. I mean, I can see Rihanna on this. I'm used to seeing her do harder, like really, really complex stuff. But I like the combination here. It looks really, really good on them. This gets an A++ for me. I really, really enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Thank you, Kit, as always. I really do enjoy whenever NCT 127 shows up on my schedule because that means I get to learn something new about the group. I get to learn about, you know, just I get to be surprised or intrigued by different choices that are made in their discography, and I feel like I grow every time I watch. So I'm here for this. If you want to see more NCT 127, you can be like Kit and join. I have a tier on Patreon called In the Pocket, where I have a newer one called On the Flip Side, where you get to directly request and do a guaranteed reaction request every single month, and that's why we get to enjoy NCT the way that we do. So once again, my name is Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.